Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this special interview with Gelais, youtube.com/Gelais. This is the full version of the truncated version you heard in parts on the Teletextr Podcast, episode 3. We couldn't fit the whole thing into that because the show was just so dang long. So, here is the full thing right here, right now, on the Teletextr YouTube channel, uncut, uncensored, and unruly? I don't know. Anyway, Dan, it's over to you. Okay, thank you, Dan. Yes, I'm here with Gelais, aka Bruno, the chairman of the Canadian branch of the Teletext Facebook group. Bonjour!
Bonjour, bonjour.
Ça va?
Ça va, ça va.
Yes, ça va bien.
Ça va bien.
That's as much French as I know, apart from pantoufle, which is slippers.
Slippers, pantoufle.
And de la confiture, which is jam.
Oh yeah, confiture, jam, and pantoufle. Okay, just catching a little bit. Yeah.
And the reason, yes, the reason that I remember those is because I used to have a Learn French tape, and those are the only two words that I remember from it.
Oh, but that's cool, eh? Yeah, that's good way to learn, started learning, you know.
Yes, but totally useless if you ever actually go to a French-speaking country.
Yeah, of course, especially for the French Canadian we are with the right accent, you know.
Excusez-moi, je voudrais de la confiture et le pantoufle. Yeah, very useful, isn't it? Sorry. I know no French. Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's
no probably problem. Very, very disrespectful there. But never mind, because we're not here to argue the merits of the French language. We're here to talk about teletext, aren't we? And yes, Bruno, I believe, is a huge fan of teletext. Now, I have to ask you this first.
Yep.
You're a resident of Canada, am I right?
Canada, especially Quebec, from province of Quebec. Oh, yeah, province of Quebec City.
Okay, is that the western side or the eastern side of Canada?
North, south, east. Yes, on the west. Yeah.
Ah, the west. Okay. So, what's the teletext scene like there currently in Canada?
Currently, something called electronic billboard on community TV on the cable station. You got cable television service, and then some region you got community TV. You got some electronic billboard. It's called just like kind of teletext, but not as nice and so proud as you get in Europe. You know, right now there's a boring HD kind of text page, looks like PowerPoint projection, something like that, with picture and something. This is really different, yeah.
We have something a little bit like that here in the UK on the local TV stations, say in the cities like Liverpool and Manchester. You'd have local community billboards with "Visit the yoga session here in Liverpool," or something like that. But it's not the same. Basically, all they do is take JPEGs or pictures that they get sent, really low-resolution JPEGs, and then they blow them up to HD and put some teletext-style music over the top. And that, I guess, is the modern version of classic teletext. So, yes, teletext in Canada was quite different to here in the UK. Can you explain how it used to work?
The difference, because so you in Europe, you got something is really impressive and really live. You keep the same technology from 40 years ago, 40 years, Mode 7. I wonder why you don't have this technology since. We all started up in the 70s with something called a company called Teletext. This is started up who's the pioneer electronic billboard in the hospital and it started up the TV cable service as well. And then Teletext it started off with the electronic billboard with boring white text and background strip and color strip for paragraph and all this. It looks like this first. This was the first computer contact when I was a kid in that period. You know. I remember my father Well, my mom, my dad, my mom changed the channel manually on the TV, and they passed these two channel. We got two channel, one for the TV guide and one for the community billboard. And each time they pass this channel, I get everything my attention. So, this was the first impressive from Teletext. First billboard was my first contact with the Teletext, just before I got my first computer in 83 around. Yeah.
Okay. So you say that it had white foreground text, but what sort of background colors were that? In the UK, we obviously have black, but was this mostly a blue background? When you think of teletext, do you think white text on a blue background?
See, only a white text with different from black for dark red to dark blue to dark green. Yeah, there was no border in black, just like just like your teletext in Europe. This is a larger strip around from the one side of the screen to the right side of the screen. So this is full size screen split with centered text in white. The fonts just look a little bit like Teletext and Mode 7 Teletext. With same the zero character just look like the same with no bar inside, no dash inside, the kind of zero like that. Also the opportunity to do that, make the text flashing, just like the European teletext, but only one color for the text, but different color for the background, split like that. This is what the first teletext looks like in the 70s and started at the 80s as well.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess flash, was that reserved for emergencies like earthquake approaching?
Yeah, just like these boring weather advertisement. There's one guy in the web do video like that, just a fake teletext with the sound effect is the same, and a guy on YouTube do this kind of video. This really
Oh, really?
This weird. Yeah, I don't know that the name is this guy, but this is a channel. That is my favorite. But some of these videos, my favorite. Put that in my favorite. This is you do some kind of boring American teletext, weather advertisement, weather alert and something like that with all the sound effect, the stress and the nuclear stuff, and interesting, yeah. Weird and interesting at the same time, yeah.
It is, yeah. It's fascinating in a strange sort of morbid sense. We want to see all these natural disasters, and when they actually happened on VHS.
Yeah. I don't know why people still want to want to do fear of themselves, fear of humanity as this negative way. I don't know. It's really weird. It's year 2000. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the human condition, I guess.
yeah, that's the human condition. Yeah.
So yeah, you mentioned weather there, and that brings something up in my own mind. When I think of teletext and the weather, I think of the UK weather map in a pixelated format. But with Canadian and North American teletext, did it have the capability to show the same sort of primitive graphics that CFAX, etc. did here?
No, because it all started up more when the Canadian government came out with this new technology called the video text at the end of the 70s, started up 80s. The video text, it was IRS graphic with 16 color palette. It all started up with Teletext service. Well, you talk about the map and the weather and all this. They started up with a channel, video text channel called Environment Canada. This is a special weather video text channel on the cable television with music, of course. This is teletext. And then Environment Canada got some map, got some symbols, and some graphic represent the clouds and rain and sun, all this stuff. Right? So this is a little bit of our revolution.
So Actually, this is slightly more advanced than the 1970s teletext that we had here in the UK, because we stuck with that format and never ever changed. We just stayed with the 74 specification, and we've stuck with it right through to 2012, and Europe is still using it. But
Yeah.
your version
Yeah.
of teletext, I guess it advanced. Did it? Did it become more advanced as the years went by, graphics-wise?
Yeah, if I talk about, well, the video text was really present in the 80s since video text, okay, it started off with the Teledon, and then the Canadian federal government cut it off Teledon at the end of the 80s, and then the video cable service provider Videotron continued to progress the technology of video text on the interactive terminal called the video wave. And the video wave was a little bit more faster, but it's still the same video text. Something is really cool, really charming with the video text is the way that the graphic slowly appear on like a painting canvas with the text appear real slowly. This is the charm of the video text. So this technology continue at the video way with the interactive way. So I can, just like in Europe, the choice on the screen to want to see the weather and all the information, the weather horoscope and all the zodiac and all the stuff, including the games.
Ah, right. Yeah, actually, that raises a question. Videotext, not videotext, videotext, was that a two-way thing?
Yeah, it's just like the way the television. Yeah, also the video text in French, in France with the Minitel. That was that was not long life. You know, it was just like CFAX and Oracle. You know, I'm really a good fan of your service, CFAX and Oracle as well. Yeah.
Did you have Minitel in Canada?
No, never. It all started up with directly with internet in '95 because Minitel only belonged to the proud of France, for France and not for Quebec. In Quebec, you start up with simply drastically with internet in '95. Before that, we get the Videotron's video way terminal for the television with the video text, and also people always remember the game, I guess we say. They play on the video text.
Boy, we're going to play a game. Yeah, we're going to play a game.
Yeah, I gotta play a game, yeah.
That's brilliant. That's a very good British accent.
Oh, I was just learning because I play, Junkie Show. Junkie Show, my
Yes.
sitcom comes I play on my Parfum Pume. So Parfum Pume is live tonight, Yeah.
That's very good, very good.
Right.
Oh, sorry, I've pushed you off course there a little. What were we talking about?
I talk about if you get me Minitel on Canada, Minitel. The only something interactive with the screen before the internet was the video wave from Videotron.
Okay, you were going to tell us about the game.
I don't see all the game because the game was in Quebec City, and that time I live in my native city of Alma. This is not the same cable provider. In Alma, some region got Cogeco cable, and Quebec and Montreal, big urban center, look at on Videotron cable service. So each time I visit my sister at Quebec in the 80s, I learn more that I never see on my cable provider in Alma. So
okay.
There was a difference. In that time there was Cablevision Alma, and then in Quebec there was Videotron, and then see something different depending on the region we were visiting. The cable providers were different. Yeah.
So you had localized teletext broadcasts that didn't stretch across the whole nation.
Yeah.
Hmm.
This is depending on the region you live in, different video text and teletext were different. Yeah, that's really cool because each time you visit another country, another country, meet another city, another different region, something is different. So
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually, that. You have an excellent idea there. We should do a Teletext road trip where we go on Kickstarter and get people to give us money so we can go around the world and say, oh, the Teletext is different in this country, and then write it down.
yeah,
A little notebook, take a picture. Thank you very much, Germany. Go on to the next country.
yeah, it is. Yeah.
So, at what point in Canada could you start to see teletext dying out, starting to be phased out in favor of the internet?
It's all started in the 90s and mid-90s. People, the more the web is developing, it gets more better. But there's still the teletext will survive after the internet, but really ends on the 98 or around 98. Yeah, I think this was 98. Usually people remember the teletext, but don't in Quebec. They don't have the passion, just like we got me and you. Just like, for example, okay. So the teletext was just there for community billboard with boring announcement, but for the rest, I think the teletext is apology with the video with terminal period. And about the web, I just hear something that the video way should have a sequel called UB, but never be. Yeah.
Okay, so there was supposed to be another teletext service, but it never came to fruition. Is that right?
Yeah, there's another improved service with a printer and all this
Ooh.
printer. Yeah, to do bank, to do when you buy something online or something like that, transaction, come in, you order,
Right.
you do shopping online. That's one I said.
Okay. Oh, yes. We had that in the 80s. That came in around about 79, 80. It was called Prestel here in the UK.
Yeah, I see that. I
Yeah.
saw that. Prestel was just like kind of on the phone hookup, and it was. He's also got the charm to, the text take the time to appear. But this is pointy comment with the video text a little bit. That's cool.
Yeah, we didn't get that. I guess that's something that we missed out on in the UK. We don't get the slow ticker going across the screen, the text slowly loading in. It would just usually load in all in one or within like a second. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm kind of sad that we didn't really get that.
I think you're talking about the horizontal scrolling message or something.
Yes, the way that it would
Yeah.
appear one letter at a time on the screen.
Oh, okay, that's slow. Okay, well, exactly. But there's something we get on teletext in Canada. There was an express message or horizontal scrolling message, smooth scrolling message, and this is something typical for the old teletext. We get cable text. We call it cable text on that period. So this is like today. But this stuff is still there on the news, on TV news, with that telescriptor on the bottom of the screen, with the express news. And this is the way that it stay, as well as showing the date and the time in the real time. So this is everything is still teletext today. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the grandson of teletext, isn't it? You look at it and see, oh yes, that's blatantly stolen from the teletext days, whereas a 12-year-old would look at that and say, no point of reference whatsoever.
Anyway, the electronic billboard is still. It really is not there. So I go to the store, I go to a grocery, on some store, restaurant. We get something HD screen with electronic billboard on it. So you just everything just like you say at first. You say sooner, but the electronic billboard in HD with picture and of the modern one. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, we do have those here as well in doctors and things in the waiting rooms. Yeah, like the
Yeah.
community billboard things. So yeah, the legacy kind of lives on in a
Yes.
bastardized version of Teletext. Although here in the
Yes.
UK, that's a completely different thing from what we know as Teletext, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just clinging onto the past. I'm sorry. I can't let go of it. Everything. I see everything as Teletext. I don't know why.
Just like my pot of coffee, I don't think
Yes. Yes.
Maxwell's pot of coffee, that on Photoshop, the heading, just like your teletext and the bottom of the link, and it was really nice to do with Photoshop. Yeah.
Excellent. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to change the subject slightly
Yeah.
to music, and I'm going to ask, as a musician yourself,
Yeah.
I'm going to play a bit of a critic's role here. What do you think of the choice of music that often accompanies pages from Canadian teletext services?
Okay, this was not as cool and as relaxed as you get in UK. UK. I know this. I really love the C-fax music with the saxophone solo and something. So I'm really inspired to do a lot of music like that today, just for the teletext. Canada, the music is really varied. Right now, on the electronic billboard, they put some local radio station. So you can listen to the radio station via the teletext, like they do on Cogeco cable, electronic billboard. The music really different depending on the region. This is not the same, they put different kind of music, various music, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's just like pop music or stuff from the radio, as opposed to specially composed or specially selected, easy listening music as we had here in the UK.
Yeah.
Oh well. At least you get music, because with actual teletext, you don't. There is no music, there's no sound. So I guess you provide your own soundtrack to teletext. And that's a challenge to all the people out there listening. Provide your own soundtrack to teletext. Buy a ukulele for £5 from your local charity shop and just jingle away. Just make up a little teletext song. Send it in to us and we'll play it here on the Teletextr Podcast. So speaking of which, Bruno, thank you very much for composing us a couple of tunes, which you will hear throughout this very episode of the Teletextr Podcast. They're fantastic.
Yeah, I do it for improvisation, always with contrabass and drums, and the saxophone do the voice with all this. This is really pure improvisation on the fly. When I do the recording of this. So I can do a lot of tune, and take a beer at the same time, drink a beer at the same time. So this is spontaneous use. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Well, it does fit very, very well, I must say. And it fits very, very well on this podcast. So, I've mentioned this before, but you yourself are a musician. What sort of music are you into?
Music, we get three big influence. If you're using three bands that influenced me, from Kraftwerk, from Duran Duran, to Metallica.
Okay, right.
So I am full new wave, semi-new wave rock, and metal at the same time. So I can do what I want.
Duran Duran, that's very interesting. Were they big in Canada?
Duran Duran was the first band I liked in the 80s. So the first band when I started listening to music when I was a kid, Duran Duran was really impressive because of the video, and when I see the first time the Reflex music video and the arena, really wonderful. I was a big fan of music video because the Reflex was really cool, especially the scene with the big water falling on from the screen on the stage with people receive the water on their face. That's pretty cool.
Okay. Did you used to like watching the music videos back in the 80s? MTV, VH1, things like that?
It's all started off first for local television, but we got something called Much Music in Canada. We got Much Music, and then later as a Canadian French version of Much Music called Music Plus. It was my reference for all these years, and now Music Plus is a bullshit
Oh
because
no.
they don't play a reality show, less music. It's really a shame. Now my reference is on YouTube. Discover people on YouTube, a musician and band on YouTube. So,
Hmm.
for example, the latest David Bowie music video was really nice.
Yes. Yes. I'm sure a lot of people do that now, actually. Check
Yeah,
YouTube instead of MTV, etc. Mm.
yeah.
So, can you tell us a little bit about your YouTube channel, specifically your animations?
Oh yeah, of course. My YouTube channel started up in 2006, when the first time, around the first year, connect to the high-speed internet because before I get experience with the low-speed internet dial-up 56K, really slow internet. When I discovered an internet, high-speed internet, I discovered YouTube. And YouTube was a great invention. It's also a great invention because when I was a kid, I got a dream to make television, do television filming myself and do shows. And now YouTube is the way to realize that all children dream because I like it. So I started up in 2006 around with my first video. I filmed something like a fan that running on the floor because there's a palm and the fan missing and the fan moving itself. A lot of view for that, but it's so stupid. And for the rest, started up to do increasing in technology and computer and get better computer and better camcorder, digital, and started up discover different software to edit my videos, and everything is growing and growing. And now, and when at 10 years ago, that's always 10 years ago. Yeah, was solid right days. Yeah.
I get the feeling that these days YouTube is slowly creeping in on television, and eventually the web is probably not going to completely take over, but it'll have a much larger share because you see it in the viewer figures here in the UK for television, and they're
Yeah.
nowhere near the size that they were back in Teletext heyday, back in the 80s, where you would get maybe 10, 20 million on a particular show. And bear in mind, there's only 50 million, 60 million people here in the UK. And you get 20 million watching, say, Only Fools and Horses for one episode. Those days are long gone. You'll be lucky if once a year you get a program that 10 million watch. And that's usually a football match, England.
Yeah, the mainstream stuff, just
Yeah.
like but I started up my YouTube channel. Grow up, just don't take some service to get more viewers or something like that. There was a service called I don't remember. There was a service you pay for that and you get. This is corruption.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, you mean in
But
TV? Do you mean in
uh,
TV or on YouTube?
okay, I remember. There was a viral service. Viral.
Okay. I've seen things like those. You can pay them to say, oh, we will get 500 views on your video or your blog or whatever. Drive traffic to it. And they're all fake. They're just
Yeah,
proxy servers that they push through. Mm.
yeah. It's like a kind of mafia.
The YouTube
Corruption mafia.
mafia.
Little mafia, yeah. So about my channel, this is so I grew up, grew up with this, do some different show, do tutorial, started up, make video tutorial about my knowledge about the software used for music, DAW
Okay.
software like FL Studio, and now I switched to Reaper and do some. each time I discover a new trick to do something different, so I teach that as a, this tutorial was are really popular for this. And then there was a junkie show for my comedy side, and then a music video from Johnny Tadver. The same Johnny, but he become Metallica when do metal, and do Tadver to do New Wave. And then that this is what exactly. And recently, I come back with the help of one of my friends, and we do that show called Lost Cade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for a retro video game, and then talk about Teletext. This is with my chronic called El Caube.
Yes, I'd like to thank you very much for your shout out on one of your most recent Luscade videos for the Teletext Facebook group. It's very, very much appreciated.
Oh, you say group, and I thought you say group.
Group.
Group. Okay. Because group maybe is the accent of John Lennon. I just learned it for the Backbeat movie. When he said, "This is not a band; it's a group."
Yes, that's the Scouse accent. I've got some strange pronunciations of words because I lived in Liverpool for 3 years, so I've picked up certain pronunciation of words, like words.
Okay, this is why Liverpool is different. Okay, I have knew someone from Liverpool on the web. They got exactly the same accent you get. Yeah.
Yes, Liverpool is a very, very unique accent, and I like it.
Let's go.
Have you farted, John? Sorry, that was my Ringo Starr impression. Never mind. So, to finish us off here, we have the question randomizer. This is a new feature here on Teletext R. I have a random selection of teletext-related questions, and I'm going to spin the wheel, and it's going to land on 3 questions that you're going to answer for us right now.
Okay, this is kind of quiz or something?
Well, kind of. We have a bank of questions, and the selector is going to select a random one. So, the first question from the randomizer is, did you ever have anything published on Teletext? I guess that would be Canadian Teletext. Did you ever send any letters in or submit any news?
Never. We never see the technology behind the screen. You don't see what we saw on the screen with the music. We never see the technology behind, and never call. Well, maybe people on the community billboard call the cable service to do provide them. They send an announcement, and like that. But not me. Not me.
But were no letters pages or anything like that on Canadian Teletext, were there?
Yeah.
No, that's unfortunate.
No.
You missed out.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to spin the wheel again. I don't really have a wheel here. You're just going to have to pretend that I'm spinning the wheel.
No, that's okay.
Okay, so, this is an interesting one. What is your earliest memory of Teletext?
Earliest, as I say, in the 70s. The first time you mean? Okay. On the cable service, my dad and my mom and my brother changed the channel, and they fall on this channel 10 and channel 13, and they see that wow, we got the letter on screen with colors and the flashing, and wow, Dad, can you I want to see that channel. Dad. And my dad select the channel. Oh, this is really like cartoon. It's not interesting. Yeah. So this is my early maybe I saw video game a little bit before the Teletext, but Teletext gave me more attention because of the text rather than blocky graphic of the Atari of my grandbrother. So so this is the early one. That's exactly.
Okay, so you prefer Teletext over the Atari?
I like video games, but the Teletext always, because it was the first contact for the computer, it always be, and you come back this year for this. So
excellent. The Teletext comeback, and finally we're going to spin the wheel one more time, and Here it is. What is your own personal definition of teletext? How would you describe it to an alien that just landed from the United States? I mean Jupiter.
Oh, yeah. What a question. Welcome to communication, and this is the this is, I can tell the alien, this is what you miss it in your signal sending, TV signal sending to the outer space. You'll miss it there because it was in cable and not in the air. So this is the symbol. We use that to communicate, and this is an art, a kind of art we communicate. So maybe I'll say that to the alien or something like that. Yeah.
So they'd say, what, so you don't talk? You have to write down letters on a video screen to communicate? How very, very strange you Earth people are.
Yeah, this is a very strange view.
And actually, do you remember, is it Voyager that we sent off into space, and it's got the VHS tape on it? I wonder if Jason Robertson could use his VHS to teletext software and his Linux system to recover the teletext from that. Do you think the aliens could use that software and experience human teletext?
Well, maybe. Something is really because something is really cool. Let's see, the some of the recovery teletext from Europe. You can. Someone's recorded in 1983 on something around, and then with the software this day, the recovery because of the horizontal line for the transmission is recorded on tape. That's really genius. This line transmission from decoder to decode the teletext. This is that's the same way you use for closed caption. There's something in common with teletext between the Canada and UK. This is the closed caption service. Yeah, something we still got this on our HD TV nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, we still have that service here in the UK. We only have one or two full teletext services, analog teletext services, but if you switch on your analog TV, hit 888 on teletext, you'll get the subtitles. So somewhere out there, somewhere in the BBC television centre and the ITV television centre, they're still running the teletext servers.
Of course. Maybe, I'm sure.
Teletext lives! Teletext lives! Sorry.
Yeah, that's why the teletext live on the closed caption in Quebec. Yeah, I can go back to I can activate the closed caption. But something is interesting. We got our remote control on our television in Canada. I got this four color, the four color button with the fast link. You get you got this magenta, red, and green. I don't know. Maybe. There was a teletext decoder on your HGTV because I got it on my TV. This is let's get the remote there. There's the red, green, yellow, and blue button.
Well, maybe you do, because a lot of teletext TVs still do exist, and I've still yet to find evidence that they are selling TVs without teletext.
Of course,
it still lives.
TV. Still lives on the HD TV. I remember that you do to my TV setting and menu and see I can select for the closed caption TXT1, TXT2 or CC1, CC2. Maybe there was a teletext decoder on that. Yeah.
Have to do some research into that. Right. Well, B. Gelais, aka Bruno, thank you very much for joining us for this episode of the Teletextr Podcast, this little interview segment. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to hear the full version of this, I'm going to upload it individually as a YouTube video. Yes, that's not everything that we talked about. There is more. Go and hunt it out if you wish to do so.
I forgot about talking about Pungle text.
Oh yes, of course. Go on. Tell us about your current teletext services.
Punctual text is. I don't always say was. There's the new board teletext service. This is a mix of video text, the DTX 100. This is an electronic billboard GIF I have from someone. an authentic electronic billboard that run on a Commodore 64. And then this is the kind of a mix of all the technology of the teletext we love, from the Mod 7, European Mod 7, so the DTX 100, and then the video text. So we do something like a flash projection with the heading, with the time and dates, and then we do the page that with 8-bit kind of picture with the fixed font. Fixed assist font for the text, and use a 8-bit Photolab Android on an Android phone to change the picture. And so this is our lovely multi-mix teletext for all these years, mixed on the same teletext. Yeah.
Brilliant. And you can access that at your own channel, is that right?
For now, this is online, just like a web page. Put that on the Google Drive account for now, and then there's a URL you can go to that, and the full teletext is on the web page on your browser. So you can use the browser when you hook to the television, put that full screen, and you got a teletext with on the TV with the music as well, with the music on background. As well, you can also use a Chromecast from your Google Chrome to your TV, and so. This is a semi-web page and semi-teletext at the same time.
Oh, wow. So you can get the Text Teletext service on your television, ladies and gentlemen. Please go and do it.
Yeah, of course. Maybe it would be some kind of web page. Put some clickable link on it, on some page, but not for now. This is a next project to improve, update this Pungle Text.
That's Pungle Text version 2, level 2, the next advancement.
Yeah, we call it Pungle Text because there's a teletext got punked, so the page setting is more punk, anarchist a little bit. Just some page remember some punk show, a punk rock show, advertisement, just like the thing about the Sex Pistol with a different letter from different review and different magazine. This kind of a college of
Yes.
what I mean.
Yeah, I like the name Punkly Text. It rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, the rose of the tongue, and the tricolor, the green, the blue, and this is like the tricolor of the punk people think their air. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I'm sure Johnny Rotten himself would approve.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe. I wonder if Johnny Rotten was a big teletext user. I bet he was. I bet he used to get in after his gigs and say, "Oh, I wonder how Millwall did."
Yeah.
Check the lottery numbers, except the lottery didn't exist in the 1970s. That was in his later years, in his twilight years. So, Bruno and Gelais, thank you very much for joining us on this episode of the Teletextr Podcast. And is there anything else that you'd like to say or promote before we draw a close to this interview?
Yeah, maybe you can watch my channel. There's a junkie show, a sitcom animation. Use the Crazy Talk animator to do this character. This is the character, photo-fitting character with real face. I don't want to say more because you want to finish your podcast.
No, it's fine.
So,
it's okay. This is edited.
Okay.
So you can.
Okay, this is edited. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So you can see that sitcom. You can see, of course, Last Kate show that talk about some teletext and some video, more fixed on. It's more about the retro video games. But this is the Last Kate I do with Sebastian. Sebastian do also his home chronicle on his side, and do my side thing on my side too. And then this is what I recommend people to see my YouTube channel to discover, and you can also see some teletext and video text video as well sometime, and the Punkle text. I resume in French and English. That's what is very versatile. And the last kate is in English, and right now me and Sebastian are working on the closed caption, and it's really long because it's a 30-minute show and boring to type.
Yes,
Yeah.
I can appreciate that. Closed captioning is a very, very difficult thing, and those guys who do it for the teletext services are wonderful guys. They don't get enough credit. A big shout out to all the people out there listening and all those that aren't listening who are subtitlers and closed captioners.
Yeah. This is a great job, but really boring at long when the show is really long. Typing, do some part sometime. Do a break. Must do a break and not finish yet, and then continue another day and something. Closed caption is, yeah.
Okay, so the previous editions of Luscade are available closed captioned. Is that right?
Yeah, we're working on it. Not finished yet, but
Okay.
the first 20 minutes or maybe 10 to 15 minutes is due with closed caption. I have to work on it next days. So for
Okay.
now on, I'm in break. Yeah.
So by the time people are listening to this, they may be closed captioned. They may be in English. So I would say, people, go and watch and check it out. Please do check out Bruno's channel.
That's not, yeah, Bruno channel and see the, okay, for the Junkie show, you'll be sure that it will be closed caption because this is a 5-minute episode. This is not, episode is not really long to do for closed caption. So each time I do an episode, I do one in Quebec and French, the next one in English, and one in Quebec and French, the other one in
Oh, wow.
alternating in French and English with the closed caption in the other language. You know what I mean?
Any other language is planned? You're going to do Dutch
Yeah.
and German, Italian.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe in time. Give it 20 years or so, if we're still alive at that point.
Yeah. I got 43 years old right yet. Was born in 72, and that's all these years to realize, 30 years to realize my dream. It was really long.
And what's your dream?
Dream, doing creating dream will make it true. What I got in my head, creating dream, just like your music video, TV show, and without the pass through the great television network. We do it for free, and that's really cool. 30 years later.
Yes. Who knows? In 20 years' time, maybe Teletext will come back. No, it won't, because it's already back. It's right here with the Teletextr Podcast. And that's a good point at which to hand you back to the studio where Dan and Carl are no doubt talking a load of nonsense. And thank you very much to all the people who've watched the full-length version of this interview, which has been posted as a special extra to the Teletextr Podcast. And thank you very much, Bruno.
My pleasure.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Sayonara.
Sayonara.